Okay, so tonight is a live stream again, and I actually won't post on YouTube for rewatch until tomorrow. I'm finding it's a little bit more difficult. Oh, here, let me do my promotions. I'm Beck Lane. This is Studio 120. We're doing an in-studio live stream where I'm just painting with you side by side as a studio mate in another state. A studio mate who doesn't make a mess on your side of the studio and doesn't owe you rent. It's perfect. And this is also perfect for people who are wanting to watch an artist work, go into their studio, watch an artist work, but it's not awkward and there's no uncomfortable silences or dumb questions you could possibly ask. If you have questions, you can put them in the comment section, or you can email me at becklane@ymail.com, becklane@ymail.com. It's yahoo.com without the ahoo part. becklane@ymail.com or becklane42@gmail.com, and that you connect to through my website, becklane42@gmail.com. What I was going to do tonight was hit up different parts of this with transparent earth red, but the oils are still wet from me painting yesterday. I made a video a little while ago explaining different products that I used and different colors that I purchased today. But once again, YouTube won't have it up for several hours, so I'm skipping that, and you can see the explanation and the colors in that video. But I was going to hit some of this up with transparent earth red and Neo Megilp, but the paint in the pieces that I wanted to paint over, lays over with this transparent earth red, are still wet, so they're going to get muddied, which happened over here. But I'm going to go around the outside with a couple of colors that I bought today. One is what did I get? Yeah, like I said, I covered this in the last video where I was talking about different products and the costs of them too. This is by Winsor Newton, not one of my favorite companies anymore, but I bought this cobalt green, which turned out to be a teal almost identical to two teals that I buy by Gamblin, artist colors, but this was $25, this one little tube, and I choked when I put it on the counter. I couldn't believe it, 25 bucks for my least favorite company. I thought it was going to be more of a celadon. It's not. It's really like a teal green, but it's mixing well with another color I got today, Gray Gray by Holbein. This is mixing really well, and it's giving me a nice color that I want. It's not as muted as this, which I really like. This is what I mixed up yesterday using several different colors, but it got too muddy. So I'm going to be making more of a bright celadon using this cobalt green and gray, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do that, but then I'm going to switch over to another painting that I just want to finish. I just want this done. And I'm pretty excited about working on it because of the colors I bought today. And once again, if you'd like to support Studio 120, because my little trip to the art supply store cost me $125 today, that I don't have. You can go on Patreon and supply monthly support or help out with monthly support. It starts at $5 a month on Patreon, Beck Lane on Patreon. You can send one-time tips through Cash App at Beck, BECK 253. Beck at 253. Or PayPal becklane@ymail.com. But let's do another studio mate. I'm expecting this to last about 3 hours. We'll take a break about halfway through, and then we'll have a snack, we'll go potty, we'll have something to drink, and then we'll get back to work. But right now, let's go over this. The cobalt green I was mixing with Gamblin Art Colors Radiant Blue, but it's too bluey blue. So I think I'm going to mix it with the gray and we'll see what happens. As I said in the video that you can't watch right now, I was painting primarily with mineral spirits and oils, but the mineral spirits and oils at this point aren't as rich as I would like. Let's turn it back this way just a little bit. Aren't as rich as I would like, and every brush stroke is showing in a not good way. The Neo Megilp that I'm mixing in now are going to provide a richer look. They're going to help the colors to meld because it takes the paint on the brush. The Neo Megilp takes the paint and helps it to spread out just a little bit. The width of the brush, it will push it outwards, so I'll end up with not just the brush stroke, the stroke that the brush is going to make, but these two other little strokes on the outside of the brush. They make like this really great divot in this. Trying to think how to put it exactly. The Neo Megilp pushes the paint to the sides of the brush, so we get these two little raised edges and then this beautiful divot in the middle, which helps the colors to work together, the paint colors to work together a little bit better. It also, I don't know, it helps them to flow. I don't know how to put it. Anyway, I'm just going to do the thing that I do. Let's move this guy over just a little. It is nighttime, so it's very dark in here, and I've got all the lights on, but it's extremely dark. Let's see, how does that do? That's okay. Let's just get to work. Yeah, so we get these crevasses with the Neo Megilp that I can't get with just straight mineral spirits. And I was trying to stick to straight mineral spirits because when we go to photograph, if it's mainly mineral spirits and oils, it's going to be easier to photograph the painting because we won't have glare. But it's not providing that richness that I look for in the paintings either. And then, as I was kind of trying to say, it shows off each and every brush stroke in a not good way. I want to thin out some of these lines, and then Neo Megilp is going to help with that. Don't know what Neo Megilp is. Neo Megilp is an oil medium made by Gamblin, Gamblin, Artist Colors. And I literally bought the last big bottle in the city today. The very last one. I went to my local art supply store. I've been to Michael's, which is within walking distance of my place. I've been to Michael's repeatedly over the past month, and they haven't had any. And I've had a hard time getting downtown to the local art supply store to buy more, because we've had so many rainstorms. It's hard for me to ride my scooter in the rain. We've had pretty severe rainstorms, and thunder and lightning and wind. That is really teal. That teal. But Michael's hasn't had it. Michael's hasn't had it for the past month or so, and I don't think they're going to be carrying it again. Finally went to my little local art supply store, and a lot of their shelves were empty. I went down to pick up specific colors, and they didn't have any. They didn't have a lot of what I was looking for. And whoop, I'm a little worried for them. Like so many people, they depend on, like so many cities, they depend on artists or shit on a rope. Why is it I can't talk and do this? My local art supply store is right next to part of the Ringling Art School College campus. And they play to the college. When the college is not in session, it's harder for us local artists to get supplies through them because they don't carry everything when the school is not in session. So when I went in today, like I said, a lot of the art supplies that I needed, including spray paints, were out. And the owner was at the front counter and she was a little petulant with me when I asked about, you know, when will you be getting more of this, or will you be getting more of that? Well, if you special order it, we can get it for you. And like I said, I can't always make that trip downtown, so I said, no, that's okay. She got a little testy. I can't blame her. They didn't have the spray paints that I needed. So I had to go online and purchase. But that was literally the last bottle of Neo Megilp in the entire city. I don't know how that happens in an art city, in a quote-unquote art city, but okay. Well, sorry, that was rude. They're a small business. They can't keep supplies on the shelf if people aren't in there buying them. Right, I'm gonna go around the outside. Not this brush. I do like the way this combination is working though. Doody-doo. The Neo Megilp, the Cobalt Green by Windsor, and the Gray Gray by Holbein. I was trying to make my own combination to get this color the past few days, but it just really wasn't working out well. Yes, we've been having a lot of rainstorms, a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning, high winds. It's not conducive for driving around on a scooter. Every time I went to get on my scooter to go downtown the past few weeks, the sun would be out. I'd get dressed, get ready to go downtown, and all of a sudden it's pouring. Let me pull this in a little bit. Here. There. Yeah, 25% chance of rain. I put my shoes on, get on my scooter, and all of a sudden it's pouring. And on days when there's a 25% chance of rain, well, that was on days when there were 25% chance of rain, rather. On the days that there was 90% chance of rain, there's no rain. Just dark, like really, really dark clouds, heavy winds. So, but at least we made it down today. Today was my first trip to the art supply store without bugs, without Bugsy. To be honest with you, nothing feels right without Bugsy. Absolutely nothing. So I love blurring the lines. I love being able to make the lines a little bit thinner. Let's pull that up just a little bit more. Here we go. I love making the lines a little bit thinner, and with just the mineral spirits that, like I said, I was using because I was trying to avoid glare. I wasn't able to do that as well. The lines were showing through, whereas with the Neo Megilp, covers some of the lines a little bit better. It gives a nice blur to the lines. That one I have to replace, but it gives a nice blur to the lines, adding warmth. I think this combination is a little bit bluer than what I wanted, but it could be in comparison to this combination I made yesterday, which is grayer and browner, with a hint of like a forest green almost. We'll see how I feel when I get done. Ooh, that's too blue. It's too teal. I'm really excited about this cobalt green though. Once I get this done, I get to dig into another painting that's been giving me a little bit of trouble. Yeah, that beautiful divot of the center of the brush and the way the brush pushes the Neo Megilp and the paint to the side is really blurring these lines. And that's kind of a signature in my paintings. That warmth. And I'm loving this Gray by Winsor Newton. I have been relying pretty heavily on Gamblin Artist Color Radiant Blue, which is it's a nice light, almost a baby blue. And I love the way it mixes with other colors. But it wasn't working well in this particular painting, and a couple of other ones. Now I have options. Yeah, that nice blur. Get back here. There's Radiant Blue right there. Radiant Blue, it's almost pure, I think it is pure Radiant Blue. And it's super vibrant against this deep celadon that I have there. What is a leaf? I don't know what's going on there. Sometimes it pulls into the background, it enhances other colors. And then other times, like here, it just pops out. There's that divot again. God, that's beautiful. Very excited right now. That gray and the Neo Megilp I just picked up more of is really going to help me to push the lines and the vines once I get back into these gecko leaves. Ginkgo leaves, excuse me. Gecko. So yesterday, well, for 2 days I didn't shower, and I literally walked around in a pajama shirt and no bottoms. So my neighbors got quite an eyeful if they were looking in my front window at all. Happened to glance in, because I was in my living room. I never paint in there, but I grabbed the paintings and went into my living room because the light is so great. And I tend to forget about it. I have a open floor plan, living room, kitchen, sunroomy kind of thing. It's a one big open area. So I went in and I binge watched the last season of Blacklist, which is one of those shows you can't stop watching because you think it's going to get better and it never does. But I don't know what that was, but you just keep watching anyway. I had to shut off BoJack Horseman and put on something else. I'm on season 6 of BoJack Horseman, which, by the way, is fantastic. That is a great, it's a cartoon, but it's not ridiculous. Once you get into season 2, it starts getting darker and darker. By the time you get to season 6, it's like a fully formed, dark, really dark dramedy. Characters come and go out of each other's lives. It's pretty interesting. It's really good. It's funny. It's very, very funny. It's also very dark, so I had to shut it off for a little bit. But it's Will Arnett, Aaron Paul, he does a number of voices, Amy Sedaris, David Sedaris pops in. Patton Oswalt. And then all these really great stars just kind of come and go from the really, really big stars too. Matthew Broderick, just a whole bunch of people. You're listening to it and you go, who is that voice? These really big stars have done these fantastic voiceovers. So it's something I recommend. But anyway, I got through I was getting through the last season of Blacklist, and we got to the season finale. And it's just one of those shows. I hate it, and I just keep watching it because I can't take my eyes off David Spade. He has gotten a bit corpulent, but I love watching him do his job. He's such an interesting actor. His physicality and his self-awareness shows through. The girl that plays Elizabeth is terrible. They could take a piece of cardboard and put string on it for hair and just march it across, and it would be just as good an actor as this woman is. She's just not good. But kept watching, and we got to the season finale. Oh, that's much better. Got to the season finale, and COVID. They were shut down. The studio was shut down because of COVID. So some of the actors, some of the side actors came on, and we're explaining what happened, that COVID shut the studio down and blah, blah, blah. And David Spade, who is, I believe that either the producer, I think he's the producer or the director of the show now, or maybe always has been, I don't know. He made a decision, or they all made a decision how they were gonna do the season finale. And they did it through a combination of live action that had already been filmed, and computer animation. And that's where they lost me. I could absolutely care about Elizabeth if she's going to be in computer animation form. Ugh, it was just vulgar. Ugh. Sorry, David Spade. If they'd taken sock pocket puppets and used them, I probably would have been more interested. Or Lego pieces. But I hate computer whatever it is, illustration. Not all of it, but when it's that badly done, no. No, thank you. looks like David Spade's character, Reddington. It looks like he has an illness that might finally kill him off. Which, you know, would be a shame. Such an interesting character. But the show is just, without him, it's god-awful. It's like NCIS. Ugh. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think this was the last, I believe this is the last thing that Brian Dennehy was in before he passed away. Brian Dennehy was a beast of a man, a beast of an actor. Death of a Salesman. God, the million things he's been in. My favorite part, though, my favorite Brian Dennehy character was when he played Chris Farley's dad in Tommy Boy. Oh my God. He wasn't in it for long, but boy did I love that. He was really good in that. He was funny. That is a funny movie. Somebody asked me what this thing is, that this is on. Let me tip the camera. It's just a bunch of 2x4s. I used to make those as table legs. Look at that, it's already drying. That's awesome. It was in the house when I moved in. I think that thing has turned into one of my favorite painting props. So it gives me a bunch of options. I did this already. Did this side, but I noticed that. Tilt. Yeah. Now already this is starting to feel like the painting that I was trying to produce yesterday while watching Blacklist because of that run to the art supply store. And me buying a couple of colors I actually never, ever, ever would have bought. But I looked at the young girl behind the counter and I said, "Look, you're out of a lot of stuff. You're out of a lot of supplies and I'm trying to find a celadon." And she said, "Well, let me show you a couple things." So I'm grateful she was there. She was very helpful. I think that was supposed to be a leaf. Let's take that out. it's supposed to be a blue leaf. Dur, dur, dur. Up against a green leaf. That's how I got confused. Up the dur, dur, dur. Bugsy. Dur, 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 dur. Still not the right color. Trying to get that color, that color, that color, that color, but God knows how I did that. Still not it. Right, I think I'm just gonna stick with that for now, because I can't figure out what did I do there? How did I mix that color? This is where being organized like a big time artist would help. But as we know, I like the adventures in painting better. I like the boo-boos. Mishaps. It's too blue. deal. This little section is not accepting the combination I have on the outside and through part of the inside. So I think maybe we'll just let it be. Because of the Neo Megilp, I've still got that nice cover that I want. The nice layering and the blurring of lines. I love being able to do this, to lay it on its side like that. It rests very comfortably in there and it's safe. It's not going to be wobbly. So one other exciting thing that happened over the past couple weeks, my washer decided to stop, about 2.5 weeks ago, my washer decided to stop spinning when we got to the last step. So I've been wringing my clothes out by hand and then throwing them into the dryer. And now the dryer has stopped drying. So I have a shit ton of clothes. Well, not a shit ton, I don't have a lot of anything really. But I have a whole stack of clothes that need to be washed. So today is the first day I'm actually wearing clean clothes. I've been trying not to, ow, god damn, ow. I've been trying not to change my clothes too often. So I'm smelly, or I was till today. Yeah, the belt went in the washing machine, so it won't spin. It's been going for a while. It just didn't dawn on me what the problem really was until it stopped working altogether. And in the dryer, I had a couple towels in there, and I put them with a couple little towels. I ran them through twice. They were wet when they came out. So the dryer is no longer heating up. Yay! several years ago when I lived in, when I first moved here to Sarasota, my little Genuine Buddy, the scooter I'm driving now, I took it to a mechanic, and I spent probably about $1,500, almost $2,000 on repairs with this guy over time, and he could never figure out how to fix the scooter, and he's supposed to be one of the best in town. He put in an engine. The last repair he did, he put in a new engine. It took 3 friggin' months, and when he finally did, he didn't put a cooling fan in the engine, no oil in it, there was 0 oil, and he lied. He just lied to me all the time. He told me, oh yeah, it's working great, I just drove it for about a half hour, which of course he wasn't going to do. I drove it up and down 41. Yeah, okay. When I got there to pick it up, it wouldn't start. It was completely covered with dust. He didn't drive it at all. We finally got it started. I was so mad. But we finally got it started. I got literally around the corner, and it died. And a friend was with me. And I got it started. He was following me, because this guy had been nothing but trouble. He and his girlfriend. He's like the hotshot scooter guy in town, and he's just, he didn't know what he was doing. And I met several other people who have Genuine Buddies, and they told me the same thing. He destroyed their scooters, kept them for months on end, and destroyed them. So anyway, there is a point. So anyway, in that time, in the 3-month time, God, that was awful. Getting anywhere was such a chore. So I didn't have access to a washer and a dryer. Much better. Yeah, I'm really liking this color. Now that it's applied, I'm liking it. It has that Celadon feel I was going for. But I couldn't get, a laundromat was too far away, so I had to wash all my clothes in the kitchen sink. I had a sink about this big. It was a little garage that I lived in. I did videos from there. That's when we used to listen to audiobooks together, which apparently turned into a problem, so I had to stop doing that. But, anywho. It was fun when we used to listen to the radio and audiobooks. Then I got tagged for copyright infringement, even though I announced what we were listening to and who it was. We credited people. So, yeah, nice color, nice blur in the lines. Now I'm going to take this and put this to the side, I think, because the rest of this is a little wet. Yesterday trying to paint it was, the paint got very dramatic and was not reacting well to me. So we're going to let that one dry, and I'm going to get to work on this little doodad. This is going to be a beast and a half, because it's so big and it's so complicated. This is a beast. It was originally going to be about the gecko leaves, but then it just got boring, so I started putting vines and tiny leaves in there, and now I've got, a big, complicated abstract painting. Big, big, big. I'm going to try out this gray with this whatever blue this is. I think it's a cobalt blue. I'm not sure. But anyway, I was washing my clothes in the sink. Oh, I like that. Pardon me, I like that. So I was washing my clothes in the sink. Then I turn on and hang up a broom. Put the broom on chairs, on chair backs. Hang the clothes on hangers and put the fan on to make them dry. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I'm loving this. I don't know if you can see it. Let's turn this just a little bit. I've added Gray by Winsor Newton with whatever cobalt blue that is. And this is going to be nice. This is the painting. I put my glasses on and I went, oh my God, this is a mess. Because I was just using mineral spirits. I was afraid to use too much of the mineral spirits I had left because I was running out. And as I keep saying, I couldn't get downtown to get more. Or I didn't even know if they had more. Because I didn't call them, which would have made sense. Last bottle in the city, I got it. So this was a mix of Radiant Blue, Gamblin Artist Color Radiant Blue, and this cobalty, whatever it is, blue. And it was, and mineral spirits, and it was okay. I'm liking this combo better. And I still got my big beefy brush strokes, but the Neo Megilp is helping to relax everything. And the Neo Megilp will actually help the paint adhere better, the paint layers. Helps the paint layers to adhere better. And also, it's a drying agent too. It's a drying agent too. So this will start getting tacky. The painting that I just worked on will start getting tacky pretty quick. The paint will. So I can work on it again in a little bit. It was already starting to get tacky or dry a little bit. In different places, so I'll be able to work on it again tonight, later tonight. Yeah, there's a richness in this that I wasn't getting with straight mineral spirits. You can't get it with straight mineral spirits. Like I said, I was trying to economize my Neo Megilp. Now I don't have to. There's just such a world of difference. Look at how vibrant that blue is. I don't know if you can see it, but it's gone from flat to now it's vibrant. It's got a real vibrancy. This is where I get super excited about painting. the technical aspects, being able to have the right tools. Look at how rich that is now. Let's add some there. This is going to, having the right products is going to help me to apply the paint back to the wall, but help me to provide a better, having the right supplies is going to help me to provide a better product for the potential client. How's that? I'm going to be able to present something I'm much prouder of. That color, it's so rich. Take it somewhere else. Ugh, so beautiful. I'm mixing it with a little bit of that Winsor Newton gray, just a tiny bit, and straight Neo Megilp. And it's just poof, it's really vibrant. I think I want to play, I should probably take this mixture and distribute it. But I'm kind of excited. I can't wait to see what we do with this and those lime green things, which I couldn't get right. I was mixing this really beautiful spring green that a friend of mine sent me, Wesley, sent me a few years ago, like 4 years ago. It's been sitting there. It's Utrecht's yellow green. Look at that. It's not a color I used before. He sent it to me, but now I put it into my portraits of Christy and Bobby that you've seen 100 times, and other paintings as well. And it's made a massive difference. But I think I want to mix it with that gray, that new tube, and see what happens. Maybe even that nice cobalt green by Winsor Newton. Let's try the gray first. Let's see what happens. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to stick with that. Mixing the gray with that yellow green and Neo Megilp. And let's see if we can get this a little bit richer. I'm going to tone it down though, that's too green. Oh, wow. Holy cow. Oh, that gray is adding a lightning effect, but without it being white. The white was flattening out that yellow green, but the gray is not. This is exciting. Sorry, this is what would be running through my head if I weren't talking out loud. Oh my God. Oh, I am loving it. I rely very heavily on titanium white Titanium Buff, and Radiant Blue by Gamblin. When I remember to pick it up. Here, let's move this over. When I remember to pick it up. And then I get tired of them, and I don't realize I'm tired of them. So it's funny how buying just 1 or 2 tubes of paint can change your whole perspective and how you feel about colors. Putting a little bit more gray in. God, I'm loving that. I was also relying heavily on transparent earth red, as you can see, to kind of find other dimensions. Down here, you can see where I've used, it's a little bit flat in feel because I used, probably used Radiant Blue. Yeah, and that Neo Megilp is helping to thin out that line, making it, not erasing it, you can still see it, but the crevices or whatever, the brush, the way Neo Megilp will take the color and push it to the edges is help romanticizing that line. Romanticizing it to the eye is what I mean, blurring the line. Let's take it off a little bit. So Ratchet is on Netflix. I'm not reading great things about it, and I really am not a fan of whatever his name is, Ryan, what's his name, who did Glee. He does American Horror Story. They always seem to get lazy. And so he's put this new series together, Ratchet, and I was thinking about giving it a try because of the colors that are used in the show. I love the look of it, but it's getting horrible reviews, and I don't want to get involved in another show like Blacklist where I'm hoping it gets better, and it just doesn't, and what's his name just makes shows that fall apart. I can't watch American Horror Story because they just get lazy after a while. I love the intention behind them, but after a while it's like, we're tired, we don't want to think anymore. Wow. That color is vibrant and it has a softer feel now because of the Neo Megilp and the Winsor Newton Gray. I'm loving it more than this. This has that lazy feel. It's almost like a cop out in color. Because I was trying to make do with what I had. That is just so much richer. So anyway, I was thinking how great it would be to go back and watch One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest, because that's what Ratchet is based on. It's about Nurse Ratchet, one of the main characters in Cuckoo's Nest. She's sort of a protagonist. And I can't remember the woman's name who played her, but she was, frightening and beautiful. And I was thinking I would love to watch One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest again, because I loved the character. Jack Nicholson is brilliant. The gentleman who played Chief just passed away. Danny DeVito is in it. Like I said, Billy is probably my favorite character. He's the most sympathetic to me. When he kills himself, it just, breaks my heart. So I was thinking, wow, I'd love to go back and watch that again. Nurse Ratched and that music. Playing the music full volume. So we went on Netflix to binge watch more BoJack Horseman, and guess what showed up? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That's gonna be awkward. There we go. Oh, I just love those. They feel smooth. They don't feel as clunky, you know. These ginkgo leaves. So I'm super excited about that. Maybe Nurse Ratched is the antagonist. It was a brilliant movie. I think I first saw it when I was in middle school, I'm not sure. You know what, I'm brushing this on, the Neo Megilp in the oil, and there we go. And I can feel the mineral spirits and oil underneath. The mineral spirits just dries the oil out, really flattens it. And like I said, that's what I wanted for when this was photographed. But I'm not getting that rich quality. I'm not getting the rich quality that I am most comfortable with in my paintings, using mineral spirits. You can hear it. You can hear the dryness in the paint and the canvas. Also got this weird electric blue thing going on. There goes that brush stroke. I wonder if there's a name for the effect that the brush and the Neo Megilp have, where they take the paint and they push it to the edge. And I get that line that you can't see, but I can hear it. I can see it blur the lines that I've already put down. It's so beautiful. And that's an effect that I haven't been able to get with my own mixtures. And that's one of the things I just love about Neo Megilp. I used to do a mixture of Demar varnish, mineral spirits, and linseed oil as a medium. And I loved it because I made it and I was so proud of myself. And then it yellowed. And I used it forever. And then a salesperson at another local art supply store in Cape Cod said, "Why don't you try Neo Megilp?" And it absolutely changed my life. I think his name was Scott. I can't remember now. It was years ago. Cape Cod Art and Frame. Let's go right in it. Nope. Yeah, I think like I said, I think his name was Scott. Cape Cod Art and Frame introduced me to this, and it changed everything. It changed me as a painter completely. It's just such a beautiful mixture. It's based on old masters medium mixtures. It does not yellow. Apparently it's time tested, and it does not yellow. Look at how beautifully it's blending in with this brown. If you can see it, this like tannish brown. It's covering it a bit. It's also allowing light, the Neo Megilp, allowing light to go through the blues that I'm now layering, and it's allowing light to go down through the blues that I'm layering on, down to that brown, and then bouncing back out, so they look nice and blurred. Working together beautifully, just beautifully. Like I said, this is what runs through my head when I'm here alone. I'll get so excited over color. Or the effects that one product can have on another. So I had my own little mixture. It yellowed, but it also didn't make colors dance and perform the way Neo Megilp does. And I don't get, by the way, I don't get paid for this. They don't send me products. They're actually pretty snippety at the company. Or the last person I talked to was pretty snippety and rude and condescending. But they still make one of the best products I've ever painted with. It really does make paint dance and perform beautifully. Just add a little bit of transparent earth red. Gamblin's transparent earth red. because this was too bright. The richness is just, God, it's sumptuous. Absolutely sumptuous. I want like a honeyish feeling brown over here and in other parts of the painting. And yesterday I was, like I said, I was trying to economize on the Neo Megilp and I wasn't getting it. It was coming out really flat like this. I don't like that at all. I've got a lower bit. That I was really upset with and trying to fix yesterday. Ugh, it's just ugh. Out in my living room without my pants on, getting upset. It was a pretty picture. And I want like a honey brown or a honeyed brown because of the client that I'm doing this for. I need that, look at that, that's beautiful. I need that nice, I need a little bit lighter, a warmer brown than I had here before. Because some of the things that they carry. I can't be specific on what I'm doing. But I know, you know, the people I'm working for, they need particular colors. I keep a little scraper over here. My palette, which I've shown before, is a piece of milk glass. Milk glass. It's a white piece, it's just a large white slab of glass. And I keep a scraper over there so I can just, if things start to get muddied, I can take it off. Look at that. That's a beautiful color. It's transparent earth red with Neo Megilp. I'm going over whatever mess I made right there. Color, ugh, blandness. Now all of a sudden we've got that nice honey color that I've been trying to fake for probably a week and a half. Look at that. That's beautiful. There's a smell in here. See how I'm scraping some of the paint off? This is far too thick for me. But you see how I'm kind of scraping it off and then redistributing it. I want to see what happens as it lightens, how it enhances the overall design. And also, like I said, this is just too thick, bordering on ridiculous. Oh, that's much nicer. That was radiant blue. Here, 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 here. Look at how beautiful that is now. The color, I mean. This is still sticky from mishaps yesterday. Let's see if I can kind of apply some lightly and see what happens. My blacklist mishaps. Huh, that gives off a totally different brown. Transparent earth red with Neo Megilp, same mixture as over here, but look at how the color is changing. It's mixing together with whatever mess of colors I put up there yesterday. It is so much more romantic. Softer. This I hated so much. And try some gray out right there. Transparent earth red. Nope. As Chris Farley would say, me no likey. Oh no, David Spade, sorry. There we go. Housekeeping. We're back to Tommy Boy again. That's kind of awful and interesting at the same time. I just put in gray, the Winsor Newton gray, no, the Holbein, whoever it is, gray. Not sure I agree with that at all, but let's play with this guy. Let's see what happens, because in those green Ginkgo leaves, they get a little bit more interesting. I'm going to fix that one real quick. Not liking that. Kitty. For Christ's sakes, would you just cover up already? For Pete's sakes. Right, I'm getting rid of you then. over because I don't like the mintiness of this. Let's see what we can do. Because I don't want it being this teal, but I don't want it being too minty either. Nobody likes a minty ginkgo leaf. That gray and the what is it, cobalt green. Kind of making it a little bland, that combination, but it's also giving it a slight bit of sophistication. And I can see where this color might actually work better for my client. Better than mint green. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Kitty has been very, very, very chatty since Bugsy passed away. Well, since I had him euthanized, let's be honest. He just stands there and meows at me and stares at me like, I fucking hate you. Oh, sorry, like I hate you. I tried playing with him. We've got all kinds of toys. I've got one of those motion detector floppy fish. He played with it for roughly 20 minutes and then that was it. I've got balls of yarn out there, which he normally likes. Not playing with those. We've got those scrunchy toys that he normally likes. I throw them and he just watches me go out and get them. I throw them and he just watches it go through the air and land. That's it. Oh, Ann, thank you so much. I just turned around. I saw that somebody had commented. I didn't even know anybody was watching. I'm just yammering away. Yeah, Ann, it's been awful. He was my studio mate. He was my everything. And yesterday I was having a hard time because of it. He's sitting in the living room in a box. I have Bugsy in a box now. Not nearly as much fun. So I think as you can see, I'm getting this really nice rich. It is grayer green, teal green. But like I said, it's more sophisticated. It really is more sophisticated. And the Neo Megilp is helping it to kind of calm down. This is a train wreck in comparison. Yeah, Kitty is meowing and meowing, and he'll just sit there and look at me and meow and stare at me. You know, sometimes he'll just sit by his bowl and demand fresh chicken, which we can't have every day. And I'm not giving it to him umpteen times a day, but I'm not sure what to do because follows me everywhere, right? And then he just sits there. Bugsy and I were together for 15 years. Kitty and Bugsy were together for 9. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, you can still see some of the minty green, but look at how the gray and that cobalt green mixed with the Neo Megilp is affecting these lines. They're blurry, they're a little blurry, they're slightly more romantic, as I keep saying, but it gives me room to play. I don't want them too dark, I don't want them too sharp, but they're less jagged now. Than they were yesterday, or a little while ago. They're far less jagged with this mixture. What time is it? Yeah, I miss Bugsy a lot. And I didn't think Kitty would really care. Because normally Kitty and he were frenemies. They weren't really pally pals. But they had each other. They were kind of like Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon. Kitty being Walter Matthau. Yeah, with the mineral spirits, I was doing straight lines, which I absolutely love. You can see them here. And I want to keep some of them. But with the Neo Megilp, I can kind of do like layering in, you know, hatching back and forth with a brush. And it's going to get a really beautiful, rich effect. Whoops. Again, giving it a little bit of sophistication. As sophisticated as you can get when, like, I'm painting. This is going to be a beast of a painting to get through. I'm feeling far more confident about it now. I want to keep some of the lines because that's indicative of a ginkgo leaf. But I don't want them all to be as direct as that particular leaf. So. We're going to get these guys to calm down. Oh, again, you can hear the dry. when I'm brushing it on. It's so dry in comparison to the Neo. Try a little bit of radiant blue in there too. Let's change this up just a little bit. Radiant blue with the cobalt green. Yeah. Meow, meow, meow. Right, kitty? Say meow, meow, meow. You just looked at me and yawned. Meow, meow. I'm not liking the radiant blue, but we give it a try. Yeah, I'm liking the gray. Let's play with that cobalt blue and see what happens too. The Neo Megilp actually thins, it can thin the color out, so you can use it almost like a glaze. Like I just gave a really light line of cobalt green on it right here. Oops, that fell out of the wall right there. Okay. That wasn't supposed to happen ever. But it's not super duper prominent. Right there, just gave it another one. Let's give a little right there. Yeah, I like that. It's kind of vague. It's not standing out like these doodads. It's nice. Let's try. This isn't just Neo Megilp and cobalt green. Stop waving. Not the queen. Stop waving. I'm going to try and get some of this to calm down too. Yeah, see, the Neo Megilp is helping to almost glaze the original colors. Not just cover. Gives me the opportunity to add more layers if I want to cover thicker. Didn't I say I was going to put a podcast on? You can tell I'm excited about this. Because I'm yappity. Like a Jack Russell Terrier. Oh my God. Oh my God, the greatest thing just happened. Look at that, look at how it, look at that. It doesn't cover the lines totally, it blurs them. This really is a romance with images and color. People used to ask me if I was with anyone. I hate being asked that question. I hate it. If I'm with anyone, and I'd say no. Why? I'm married to my dog. That's what I used to say. I'm in love with Bugsy. I'm married to Bugsy. And now I just tell people I'm married to painting. This is a romance. Look at God, that's changed so much. It was so vibrant, it was almost vile. It was really, it was vile. And now we've got the gray, the cobalt green, Neo Megilp again, softening it, evening the colors out, making them feel a lot less desperate for attention. Look at how beautiful that is. I'm not sure if you can actually see it or not. It is stunning what these colors have done together. Oh, this is what I wanted to have all along. I love the action of these lines, and like I said, they are my signature. People know that. But I need that dryness that I can hear to go away. We need to hear see the romance, feel the romance, feel the joy of painting. Which you can kind of see. But you can also see gigantic, you can see the many ways I kind of copped out. You can see them because I didn't have the right tools. So again, I went and spent $125 today that I don't have. Didn't have to spend on paint. Right now, this makes me happier than paying the rent. All right, right at this moment. Ask me again tomorrow. As you can see, I'm adding some lines, but watch. Whoop! I want you to be that thick. I want you to be that big a girl. There's the brush and the Neo Megilp pushing this bright gray with the cobalt green to the edge. It's just so beautiful. This may be something you can only see up close. Oh. Watch me turn into a 30s movie star. Oh, it's genius. Darling, it's brilliant. What am I going to do? I'm going to give this a little bit more emotion. It's explicit. Split it. Just a little bit. No, I'm not liking that line now. Darling, you're a genius. I found out what the air conditioner is for. Watch. Since it doesn't really work at all, it's holding up my little Patreon sign, who I am and what I'm doing. but I also use it to lean my paintings up against. It's useful. First I thought it was a gigantic pain in the ass. It was taking up space for no reason, but now I know. I can lean my paintings on it. Yeah, okay, I just mixed in some titanium. I took a great risk. I took a great risk and mixed in titanium buff white in with my new favorite color, the cobalt green. And that's giving the effect I was trying to get the gray to give. Where'd you go? Here you are. Just realized something. The cobalt green is a little bit grayer than the color I'm going to apply right now. This is turquoise by Gamblin. Turquoise, let me be specific, 1980 by Gamblin. It's sharp. It's a very sharp, bright teal. That is pretty together. It's the cobalt green by Gamblin is actually more of a celadon now that I'm looking at it with the teal, with the turquoise. It's grayer. Really pretty color, but grayer. Oh, and now they're bouncing off of each other. This is, I'm sorry, you're watching me learn as I'm standing here painting. And you're listening to me talk out loud about learning while I'm painting, which I'm sure is super exciting. This is what goes on when I don't have the camera on. Only I have Netflix going. Oh yeah, that's really pretty. That is much nicer than what it was. This is just more turquoise, 1980 turquoise with titanium buff. I love that line, but I don't like. Let's see. Yeah, okay, that was good. That was good. That blue is brilliant. Brilliant! My God, Harry, you're a genius. What blue? Let me check something. Oh, that's cobalt. The blue that I'm using right now is little mashed. Cobalt blue pure by Utrex. Again, my friend Wesley sent that to me. Sent me a box of large tubes of paint, and I went, oh, these aren't colors I ever use, and I do. I started using them, and I'm super happy. Like that green, I never would have used that really bright green. Never would have bought it. Now I put a splash of it in everything. I still can't bring myself to use umber. Umber is a tragedy. Umber is such a sad friggin' color. If it had a sound, umber would sound like this. He would be, I think it's Ralph on The Simpsons. The kid with the bowl haircut. Sounds like this. And it's just like, never gets anything right. Well, maybe not, because that kid's very excited about life. Umber isn't excited about anything. Umber is just umber. My apologies to anyone that loves umber. I am a bit of an umberist. So yeah, the gray by holding really gives the colors a sophistication. When I mix it with other colors, gives them a sophistication. And the radiant blue gives them a vibrancy. So it's like, this is the grown-up in the room. The gray and the cobalt green by Winsor Newton. And then my Gamblin, the Utrecht cobalt blue that I just showed you, blue pure that I just showed you, mixed with radiant blue by Gamblin. These are the kids in the room. So there's the grown-up in their evening gown. And this is the kids' table. They're throwing food at each other. So they're going to play off each other nicely as we go along. Kind of like the Marx Brothers and, oh God, what was that actress's name? The actress who always played the straight man in all the Marx Brothers movies. She was in the evening gown, and then there's the Marx Brothers bouncing around singing, "Hello, I must be going. I came to say I cannot stay. I must be going." Transparent earth red. Transparent earth red and the blue. Boink, boink. once again, I can hear the dryness in the paint. Ooh, we're back to that little corner. So what are we gonna do now? I am gonna tackle this. I'm not loving it. Let's make it something better. Here we go. Well, that's very dramatic now. Maybe a little too dramatic. Oh, wait a minute, that's part of the leaf. Whoopsie. Sorry about that leaf. Oh, that's a vine. Oh, duh. There we go. Pay attention. Oh, now I gotta watch Duck Soup. Thinking about the Marx Brothers. Damn it, now I gotta watch Duck Soup. Shit, that's already. Alright, don't pick at it. What I'm blurring the lines, but I don't want to make the mistake of making it look like an acrylic painting either. Like there are certain people that work with acrylics and they leave the artistry of the blurred line. Like it's a big statement. I don't want it to feel like that. I don't want the lines to be too explicit, but I'm gonna ride this edge where it's not like an acrylic artist who's just like, ah, this is genius. Or someone that works with acrylics, excuse me. I know people who do that extremely well. And then other times it can come across as tacky, and that's what it was leaning towards. There we go. So we got some blur and we got some clear. And then we tackle, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more, 7 more of those little geckos, those minty green geckos. Let's do a couple and then we'll take a break. We'll go potty. Where's my water? So last week when we were having the really, really worst of the storms, the more severe storms, it hit tree frogs in the house, outside of the house, on the tree across the street, and they were singing all night. It was so fantastic. Like 6 in the morning they were singing. I mean, it was all, oops, there we go, all night long. Kitty got one in my bedroom. He woke me up one morning rather. He was next to me in the bedroom wall, croaking away or singing. Tree frogs are really beautiful and their songs are gorgeous. But we had a symphony of them across the street. And as you can hear now, we don't. Not sure why. There was so much rain. And we still have a little bit of flooding here and there. Like my backyard is one big sponge. The grass is just filled with water. And then out front, along the road, there's tons of water collected. I don't remember what they're called, but they're the things that collect water that bring them to drains. Well, they don't really drain, they just kind of fill up with water and suddenly you've got a pond. They're filled with little, it's a weird shape. Oh, I just realized this is a ginkgo leaf with that ginkgo leaf over the top of it. Okay. You know what I'm gonna do? Titanium buff white in this. Anyway, they're filled with tadpoles. Try not to run them over when I go out there on my scooter. I love frogs, love tadpoles. You know what? No, not that one. I have this one. And some kids' room color. Nice 1980 turquoise. And 1980, by the way, Gamblin Artist Colors makes a couple of different levels of paints. 1980 is the less expensive version of their regular paints. So instead of spending $20, $25 a tube or whatever the most expensive are, the regular price on a tube, whoops, you can get them for a lot less, under $10. So, and the colors are completely different between the studio brand, the 1980, and the artist. Oh, Kitty, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were there. I'm sorry, honey. I just stepped on the cat. Sorry, sweetheart. I didn't know you were there. Some of them, there's that line though. Not loving that. Not loving that at all. Let's calm this down. There's the stem for that. The stem for that would be somewhere. Let's make a line. Sorry, sweetie, are you okay? You okay? Sorry I stepped on you. Ginkgo leaves have these really beautiful folds in them. So I think I'm going to differentiate this one. Let's make up our minds. So the 1980 brand is the step down. It's less expensive. The colors are a little bit different. Sometimes they're not as richer. Sometimes they are richer. But they are a little bit thinner, a little bit oilier or something. They don't have the density of color that the regular brand does. Let me show you. So, I got paint all over it. There's the label for the 1980 Gamblin. One of my favorite colors. And then the label for regular brand, like fine art level brand. This is, I don't know if they call it studio level or I don't care. I don't care what they call it. This is my color. And then there's the regular label. Cutie. Okay, buddy? Alright, I have a feeling I'm going to be playing with that for a while. It's funny how something so small can trip you up so quickly. Oh, shoot. Sorry, little leaf. It's still kind of minty. It's weird. Not sure if it's a good weird or a bad weird. Oop. Well, that was a large declaration made right there. And I kind of like it. So there we go. Don't like it through the rest of the leaf. Too much of a declaration everywhere else. It's like screaming. I found a color. Get back to the kids' room, Teal. Back to the unsophisticated 1980 Teal. There we go. Time is up. I think we've been at this for a couple of hours now. We did that. We got that really bright blue in. Did that one. Where did we go? Yeah, we did that one. We did not do that one. I hopped over to that one. Then over to that one. Wait a minute, did I hit that one? Nope, I did that one. Got that. All right, you know what? Because I've been talking and my throat is sore, and I'm probably not going to stop talking because I was having seizures earlier, and talking to people helps the seizures to end and for me to be able to focus. Instead of taking a break, because now we've been at it for like over 2 hours, I think I'm going to stop the video, stop the live painting, stop being the yammering studio mate, and I'm just going to focus on this. Plus, I have the BoJack Horseman theme song running through my head, so I want to watch BoJack Horseman. But I really want to focus on this. Kind of be alone in my head and focus on it. I will still be talking out loud, but I think I need to be alone in my head. And so why don't we call it quits for this one? We'll do this again tomorrow, and I'm sorry I haven't been doing more of these. I've just been trying to plow through so much work. But again, it was without the proper materials. I did not have enough Neo Megilp. I did not have all the colors I needed. And now I've spent more money than I have, or should, or can, on paint, but I have the colors that I need. So we'll do this again tomorrow, I promise, I think. Yes. It'll require cleanish clothes and pants, but I think we'll do this again tomorrow. Let's come back. Put this back. Just for a sec. Yeah. Okay. So, ow! God. All right, so anyway, I'm Beck Lane. This is Studio 120. Let's turn this up so I can show you. There. I'm Beck Lane. This is Studio 120. We've been doing a live studio mate. I don't normally chat through them, but apparently I did this time. Talked about the different paints and the different products and stuff. So anyway, if you'd like to help support Studio 120, because my rent is due and I'm a little panicky, you can go on Patreon, and that's monthly support. The support starts at $5 a month, $10 a month, $15 a month, goes on up to levels where we can do one-on-one chats, or you can buy paintings. And I've got all that up on Patreon, Beck Lane on Patreon. You can go on Facebook. I'm on Facebook under Beck Lane on several pages, but Beck Lane Gators and Mass, Gaiters, Gators and Mass on Facebook, and you can have my work printed on gaiters, like Yayoi Kusama here, my neck gaiters, like scarves. And they really do make cute scarves on top of being, you know, helpful in COVID. You can get almost any of my images printed on gaiters. We also have masks available. My images are a little big for masks, but gaiters, masks, and posters, or prints of my work. You can get prints of my work on Beck Lane Gators and Masks on Facebook. If you'd like to give one-time tips to help me pay for the paints I just bought and more that I need, you can go on Cash App. It's a one-time tip on Cash App, Beck2583, Beck, B-E-C-K 2583, or PayPal. You can send me a tip through PayPal at Becklane at ymail.com. Becklane at ymail.com. It's like Yahoo, but without the ahoo part. So Becklane at ymail.com. Let's do the Patreon jingle. Boy, this is getting tired. Let's do the Patreon jingle. Ready? Patreon, hashtag cats, meow, meow, meow. All right, time for a break. I gotta put on BoJack Horseman and we'll do this again. Now you know what I'm thinking when I'm painting all this stuff. I'm going, oh, this is genius. Oh, this is luscious. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh my God, what did I just do? You heard how I think and how I talk to myself when no one's around. Anyway, we'll do this again really soon. Thanks so much. I hope you got some work done or learned something. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section. The links for all of these will be posted below the video once it's uploaded to YouTube tomorrow. Thanks so much. All right, I'm Beck Lane. This is Studio 120. Me, meow, 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 meow. Ciao. Ciao. Oh, I gotta find the button. Ready? Boink, 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 boink.